Good morning. This is Norma Cowie. You caught me in a moment because I was trying to get on live and it just wouldn't go, wouldn't take. And this morning it started going around and around again. So I just thought, I'll wait till they get here. So, welcome. So, I'm back from my travels. I'm back from my tiredness. I must apologize. I did say last that I would miss one Sunday, excuse me, and I would be back. But I was so tired from all the traveling and everything else that goes on when you're traveling that there was no way I could put two thoughts together because I only got home the day before. And then on Monday night, when I do my mental mind treatments, again, I didn't feel that I was able to be focused and be able to deliver effectively. But I did some clients later in the week, and I did a small workshop yesterday on opening your psychic eye or your clairvoyance, I should say. And so here I am. And it's so nice to be back. But I have to tell you a couple of things that happened when I got back. I messed up in my appointment book because I was away basically 10 days. I had allowed a few days of recuperation. A few people canceled their appointments. And then I totally messed up. I had forgotten that just before I left, and I'm going to say the username Jane. That is not the people's name. Jane phoned me and made an appointment, except where my head was, I don't know. I didn't write down what it was for. So when I came home and I look at my book and I see the name Jane, I'm thinking of it as a person that's in the transformation process. And so I just, thought, okay, that's when we're doing that. Sent out an email. And then it got confusing because I was emailing the wrong Jane. The Jane that thought her appointment was at a certain time, which I had ended up canceling by talking to the other Jane, that it was a mess. Anyway, to make a long story short, we got it straightened out. But in the meantime, I was doing what many of us do. I started beating myself up. How could I be so silly? Why did I do that? And I don't know about you, but when you get into one of those beat up loops, it goes round and round and round and round. Now, I have learned from experience that the only way to really move the emotion is to do self-forgiveness work. I'm a great proponent in self-forgiveness work. I didn't practice it for many, many years. But when I got connected to the love vibration, when I began to realize how loved I was, and that this whole thing about you're asking, when you're asking for forgiveness, yeah, but in the love force, you're already forgiven. It's not a point. It's you that has got everything going on in your head. So I had to do quite a bit of self-forgiveness work. And how do you do that? Basically connect to the force of love and then say, I forgive myself, but mean it. And mean it. And I usually say what I'm forgiving myself for, because in a way, what I'm doing is having a conversation with myself, using the love force to let me know on the inside that I'm okay, that I'm loved. And yes, I screwed up, but it's not the end of the world. It will be, and it was sorted out. And this coming week, everything begins to go back to the normality of it. But it could get a little bit confusing. And one of the things I really don't like admitting is I have a birthday coming up next month, and it's like the aging process sometimes kind of clicks in. And that is nothing to be upset about. It's just a matter of sometimes acknowledging it. And so I've made some allowances in the last year. The last year, maybe 18 months, but really the last year, of regarding clients, or how many, whatever. And yes, I added another YouTube segment, but I really enjoy doing those. And so I just want to talk about a little bit more about forgiveness. I hear a lot about the different ways people do forgiveness acts, but what I have discovered myself is that unless you forgive your part in it, It's difficult to forgive another. You may think that's what you've done. You may think that has got it all sorted out. But the reality is you haven't really cleared it, because one wants to clear it. There's lots of ways of clearing the energy and things. But when you're upset about something, when something keeps recurring in your mind, that means it's in your subconscious and it's showing you that you're still not clear. You're still not where you need to be. And it's difficult to love yourself effectively or be supportive to yourself effectively if you haven't forgiven yourself yet, if you haven't sort of cleared the deck, so to speak, so you've got a clean slate. And I was a great person. I wouldn't say a great person. I'm a person who spent quite a bit of time in their minds and their head. And sometimes that was very effective of being able to do that. But the reality is, you need always to be in yourself, knowing you're loved, knowing that you're aware. And if you need to forgive yourself, you can do that. And the best way for me is connecting to the love source. But the best way for you may be just by sitting quietly and just really going inside and saying, I forgive me. Now, I spent a lot of time forgiving myself for anything throughout all time. And I sometimes tell people, and they look at me a little funny about that. But because I look at the Akashic records for people finding out what has been blocking them, what's blocking them. I don't look at the Akashic records to see how great you are. Sorry. I look to see what's stopping you from being great, or whatever is blocking you from achieving what you want. And so I do go and I always do a forgiveness prayer, because the forgiveness prayer and work with the person to really feel the letting go of that belief, attitude, judgment that they have stored. And if they've stored it in the Akashic records, that means it runs through all your lifetimes. It's there. It's not something that comes and goes like today, like this week when I messed up my appointment book and two people got kind of confused. Luckily, I didn't lose either one of them. And so the key is to have an awareness of this love energy, to have an awareness within yourself that can go, even if it is just mentally going inside, into your heart, into wherever you feel this element of you, the sense of you, and forgive yourself. And as I said, I spent a lot of time doing that, because I realized with doing the Akashic, with the Akashic record coming up in people's transformation works, that I needed to ensure that I was really as clear as I could be on my soul level, because it's a soul issue. And I began to, at night, just tuning in and then saying, I forgive myself for anything I have done throughout time. I did that for quite a while. Not like months and months, but for quite a while. And then all of a sudden it felt like I didn't need to do that again. And then every now and again, when I get messed up in my mind, okay, let's go back and forgive myself here, because it's no use being stressed out in your head, because then you mess up more. You make more mistakes. You do more things you don't want to do. So the Sunday thought is about self-forgiveness. It's about recognizing that you need to be as clear as you possibly can as you move forward in your life, to be at peace within yourself, so that your mind is clear, your emotions are clear, and that you feel at one with everything there is. It doesn't mean that you're going to always be like that, because I find I'm not always like that, but at least you have a tool, and I'm big on tools, to be able to know that you can forgive yourself, and that forgiveness is really important for you, not for the rest of the world. Now, if you need to forgive somebody, just forgive your part of however that came about. We are not aware of all the soul connections. My hand's going, sorry. But we have connections. We have meet people that we've had other lifetime experiences with. And we don't know what we could say the interactions of those were. So what's really important is that you know and have a process of forgiveness that works for you, no matter what the situation, no matter what is occurring or what is happening. So that's the thought for today. Forgiveness. Forgive yourself for whatever. I forgive myself for messing up a little bit. I don't know why at times my patience runs out when I'm waiting for that circle to go and say live. So I realized today I just have to be a little bit more patient. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. And thank you for subscribing. I really, really wish you a great week. I'll see you Monday night, of course, if you're interested. You need a treatment for something. And I just have to say this at the end because it's very exciting for me. You may feel that excitement, is that people are saying that they go on and they listen, even though they haven't requested a treatment themselves, and they find it is helping them. But it is nice to have people who can come on live that do that. For those of you that can't be there at 7 o'clock Pacific time for when I am on live, just a request, you can always contact me through my website, normacowie.com, and email that reaches me before 6 p.m. because I'm on air at 7, anything you would like a treatment for. If you don't mind, say your first name, just use the capital of the name, which I'm quite prepared to do. Also, it helps me if I know your age. I like your name and your age. I ask if you're live that you just do the first name and preferably your age. But I'm so glad people are enjoying that. And then, of course, I'm back doing Wednesdays, Norma Talks, with a topic of who knows. You can always email me and say, I'd like to hear about this. And I can always, do that. Well, I just wish you a great Sunday. Thank you. Bye now.